Hey, I'm Jeff and welcome back to another video. This is my Thai constellation and it is starting to show signs that it needs to be repotted into something a little bit larger. So let's check it out. This is perfect timing because I recently repotted my large regular monstera from this terracotta pot into one of these large plastic tubs. So now I have the next pot size up from this one. Now you can see there are a few signs that the leaf is telling me it needs to be repotted. So it's getting some browning. It's got a little bit of yellowing here as well. This one is drying out much faster than it normally would. And I took a look at the bottom here. You can see there's quite a bit of roots poking through the bottom, but this isn't always necessarily meaning that it is root bound. Sometimes roots will find their way out the bottom of the drain hole, but I'm also starting to see some roots at the top here as well. So I know I've made some videos recently about this as well, but I'm thinking that this one needs to be repotted. So I'm going to take it out of the pot, look at the roots, and if it needs to be upsized into something larger, this is what we're going with right here. I also want to add another one of these directional support wood dowels on this side, because as it continues to grow, it's going to kind of veer off to one side or the other. So I'm going to add another one probably somewhere right up here so that as the stem grows, it can remain kind of in the center of the plank. Now I'm just going to use my knife and go around the pot. And all I'm doing is just placing it in the pot and then pushing forward. That just helps loosen up any leaves or any roots that are attached to the terracotta. So I'm seeing quite a bit of roots at the top. So I'm thinking this is going to be pretty root bound, but I have been wrong in the past. Today I'm feeling confident. Okay, so I'm going to loose it up. Oh yeah, I can feel some roots pulling from the bottom. There we go. And yep, it is definitely root bound. Look at all those roots. So my suspicions were correct. We're going to place it in the other pot. Now I'm just doing a little root analysis. Now you can see there's lots of nice white roots, but if you come over here, you can see these ones, at some point there was rot. So now this can be caused by either overwatering or underwatering. Overwatering is pretty simple. The soil stays wet for too long. The roots turn to mush. They don't receive enough airflow. They're basically being suffocated by moisture in the soil. Now, what probably happened in this case is I'm typically a chronic underwaterer, so I probably let it get way too dry. And then when you water those extremely dry roots, they basically turn to mush. So you can get rot from both overwatering, or I guess more so like inappropriate soil, or it's staying wet for too long, or you can get dry rot. Now, I've said this in previous videos, is typically I don't disturb the root system. When you place it in another pot, the roots, they'll search out those new areas for growth. The only time I will break up a root ball is if the soil is absolutely rock hard. Now, when you have rock hard soil, the water cannot penetrate into the roots, allowing for those roots to soak up the water and moisture. So normally I just leave the root ball alone unless it is extremely like rock hard. Now there's probably going to be people out there saying that I should absolutely remove all the rot. This stuff it's just dried up. I don't see any new signs of rot on any of the healthy looking roots. So again, I'm not going to disturb it for today. The soil is definitely not rock hard. The aeroid mix keeps it fairly loose. I find this aeroid mix doesn't compact. It doesn't get really dense like you would if it was just like a regular tropical mix with more peat based. Those tend to get pretty rock hard, but this one, you can see it's spongy. So I'm just going to take this, place it in the other pot, add some new soil in, and that's pretty much it. For pots that have large drain holes like this, and you have, small little bit, oh, there's a piece of rot in there. When you have small little bark stuff, they tend to flow right out the bottom. So I have some drywall tape on hand. So all I'm going to do is take a small little piece, and it's actually sticky on the back. So I'm just going to cover up the drain hole just like that. Whenever you repot a plant, you want to go to the next size of pot. This one is a 10-inch terracotta. This one right here is 12 inches. So this is the next size pot. I'm just going to bring this in just to show you how much room there is along the sides. I just have a bunch of leftover soil from other projects, which I'm going to dump in here as well. Plus, I also use VeryPlants aeroid mix. I do have a larger bag like that I'm going to use for the remainder. So I'm just going to dump in a bit of this soil just at the bottom. I should be wearing a mask. Dusty. So I got a couple inches at the bottom. Where's that aerial? Did it? Just going to make sure it's all tucked in there nicely. So something like that. You can see there's quite a bit of room at the front of the pot. So I'm just going to dump in the rest of this stuff. Making sure I'm not blocking the view here. And then I'm just going to dump that in. Oh, there's some sphagnum moss in there. So I'm actually going to just take that out. Now for the rest, I'm just going to use the aeroid mix from this large bulk bag. Just going to dump it in. I'm not really going to pack it down all that much because I want the roots to stay nice and airy. I'm just going to fill in all the gaps. Use my pencil to fill in any of these air gaps. Even with these large plants, this is the most versatile plant tool. A lot of people use chopsticks. I like to use a pencil. I'm just going to add some at the back here as well. And then I'm going to give this some water because it needed to be watered before I repotted it. So I'm hoping that this repot will spur some new growth as well. This one is actually pretty slow growing for me. I know some people say that their Thai constellations, grow pretty fast. So mine gets really good light. It's probably about 13, maybe a little more than 13 hours of light downstairs here with my grow lights. I have them all on timers, so it gets consistent light, consistent temperature and conditions. So I'm hoping that this sparks some new growth. Okay, here's the finished product. Nice, fluffy, airy mix. Now, some people might say I should not have used that, like some of the leftover soil, just because it might have some of those small little roots now. Although I don't advocate for using or reusing soil that has previously had root rot, this stuff is all dried up. It's not active. So I don't mind using it, tossing it in. It's not a big deal for me, but I know that's pretty much a no-no just because of the bacteria for the root rot. You definitely don't want to transfer that to the new plant, but there's no signs of any current rot, so I don't have any concerns about reusing soil, but if you do, then you do you. I'm sure all of you now know I have a garden hose in my basement, so I'm gonna soak the soil, but first thing, I'm going to add some of this slow release fertilizer, which I've been adding to my monsteras that have been in soil. So I'm just going to unscrew the lid. It's like a little salt shaker. I'm just going to put a little bit in the pot like that. I'm just going to poke that down into the soil just to kind of distribute that evenly and make sure it's slightly underneath. And then I'm going to take my garden hose and give it a good thorough soaking. Plus I'm also going to spray the leaves off. So I'm just going to really soak that soil, and this will help settle the plant in as well. Now, along with watering my plants, I've been spraying them down with an insecticide just as I still find the occasional thrip. So it's definitely not like a huge infestation like it was before, but I'm still spraying down preventatively, or I guess for some treatment of thrips. So this is the Safer's End All. So I'm spraying the entire plant, not only the leaves, but the petioles. If you see like browning or bronzing on the petioles, then you probably have a thrip issue as well. So you'll start to see some browning like in the little cracks here. Really get in there as well, because thrips, they will eat the entire stem. They'll eat anything on the plant. So I spray off the entire plant, and that way I'm covered. Here's the finished product. It's going to go back in its little corner right down there. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching all my videos. I appreciate the support. Take care, everyone. Bye.